Arteta has transformed Arsenal into monsters now, dominating the best teams in the world.
One more stride of Arsenal's stairway to heaven.
One of the best nights in my football career, for sure.
They are back in the Champions League final for the first time since 2006. 2 decades in the making. I mean, this is like losing your virginity, the sequel.
Champions League final, first time in 20 years. The last time it happened, you were playing, Thierry.
Yes.
Captain, actually.
As if dominating in the Premier League wasn't enough, these guys are also dominating in the Champions League.
It's been a journey. Let's enjoy it. Obviously, if you love Arsenal. But then, let's concentrate on now finishing the league well, and then the final of the Champions League. I'm going to have my guys in Budapest.
It might not always be the prettiest of football, but nobody can break these guys down.
They was lacking a bit of firepower. They didn't score 2, 3 and 4 today, but they know how to defend and they know how to get over the line.
And when they do need a goal in this competition, somebody always comes through with a moment of magic.
It's Henry getting cleared. It's Thierry Henry! He scored! He scored for Arsenal in the Bernabeu! Rice, accurate and brilliant! Let him hit it again. Line of vision. Rice, oh my God! All Black with the save and tucked in by Saka!
These are the moments that Wenger envisioned when the Emirates Stadium was built. The hope that under the bright lights, Arsenal could compete with the very best that Europe has to offer.
I've been in that position a couple of times with the second legs at your ground, and if you can win it, that moment with players and fans, and when you see that connection, and they're nights that those supporters will never forget. That night, and they want more of those to come and make it a regular thing of getting to the Champions League. But
no more embarrassing losses. Now Arsenal are the elite club.
I still think Arsenal are the best team I've seen in this league this season, no doubt.
Hence why you got all these celebrities coming out and bandwagoning them. I didn't see Anne Hathaway singing when Arsenal were in the Europa League, or when they were getting bent over and spanked by Bayern.
Just to play Champions League was a miracle because we had 7 years without Champions League, and now we are in a final after 20 years and for the second time in our history. So when you just see so many happy faces and so many people proud of what we are doing, and yeah, it was unbelievable right from the beginning.
As great as the players have been, a lot of appreciation has to go to Mikel Arteta. He transformed the entire mentality of this side.
What I have to be is as competitive as possible.
Arsenal weren't even sniffing Champions League football before he arrived. And when they did have European football, they were getting embarrassed. Now they're picking up wins in the business end of the tournament. Arteta has brought back the physicality and mentality that made the Gunners great.
And I'm looking at Arsenal and thinking, this is a top team.
Arsenal had always been a team that dominated teams physically, as seen from the success they saw under George Graham and the early days of Wenger.
The men who typify Arsenal with us.
But in recent times, they had lost their edge.
Before Arteta joined, you would watch them sometimes and, they wouldn't have that physical approach in games. You're not going to bully us now.
They became known as a team that played beautiful football, but were bullied out of matches.
He is a specialist in failure.
Well, Arteta has changed that mentality and brought back the qualities that made Arsenal such a successful club.
Arteta is better than Arsene in terms of management, of being ruthless with his players.
And that's the first part of it, to create an atmosphere that makes it really good for our players, really difficult for the opponent.
He has a strategy that will take Arsenal back to the top. You know that Arsenal are good again when there's jealousy towards them rather than pity.
Well, I prefer this much more than somebody clapping my back after the game saying, well done, you guys are in the right direction.
2 deep runs in the tournament in back-to-back years, the Gunners are finally making some noise on football's biggest stage.
The historical kings of European football are out.
To understand why Arteta's transformation of Arsenal is so important, I have to show you what Arsenal football used to be like. When Arsene Wenger took charge of Arsenal in 1996, he transformed the team into one of the greatest forces in English football. In the 1997-1998 season, Arsenal won their first Premier League title, finishing 7 points ahead of Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. This win began a period of success for the club. Wenger was a tactical genius and had an ability to really help young players improve, which kept Arsenal at the top. The early 2000s were a golden time for the Gunners. They won both the league and the FA Cup in the 2001-2002 season, thanks to star players like Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp.
Arsenal are the champions! They've taken the title away from Manchester United and they have done the double!
Under Wenger, Arsenal won 3 Premier League titles, including the remarkable 2003-2004 season where they went undefeated, earning the nickname the Invincibles.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
To not lose a single game in the entire league campaign is something that is almost impossible to replicate. It showed a level of dominance and brilliance that hadn't been seen before. At this time, Arsenal played fluid football, but were also an insanely physical team. The midfield partnership of Patrick Vieira and Gilberto Silva was scary. 2 giants that were good both defensively and going forward. In defense, they had Sol Campbell and Kolo Touré, a wall with Jens Lehmann behind them. Everyone understood their role and executed with precision. As we will see later in the video, Arteta is making his own type of unbreakable defense. Just like Wenger's early 2000 Arsenal sides, Arteta knows that a good defense is the foundation for a title-winning side.
But you see those 2 centre-backs at that age in the Premier League doing what they're doing, that's very strange, but credit to them. There is something there that is not tangible, but it's very, very important in certain position, and those 2 certainly have that.
But that greatness was tough to maintain. After the remarkable unbeaten season in 2004, Arsenal saw a notable drop in their performance and faced a period without winning any trophies.
Do you look at the difference now following the Invincible year? When you win the league and how quickly it changes.
We didn't improve.
They reached the final of the 2007 and 2011 League Cups, but lost both. With the performances dropping, they began to lose some of their most important players.
We're losing players, key players.
Patrick Vieira, Perez, Ashley Cole, and Ljungberg were sold to begin a rebuild around the new up-and-coming young talents like Cesc Fabregas.
And because of Cesc, the player that he was, he started to think that he had to build the team around Cesc Fabregas.
Club legend Henry signed for FC Barcelona after 8 years at the club.
I wanted to do it though because I think you have to leave a club a certain way, and I thought it was the proper way to leave it.
Former keeper Lehmann believed this transition was too quick, and that the younger players did not learn the old values of the title-winning sides.
It's not easy. The philosophy seems to have shifted a little bit.
As the face of the Arsenal setup rapidly changed, so did their ambitions, as Arsenal began to convert into a global brand. The innovative idea to leave Highbury to move to the Emirates Stadium was taken on the assumption it would open the club to achieve a greater commercial revenue, which would in turn be used to fund future transfers. That was the plan at least. But for a while after 2006, the board timed their spending. They seemed to be happy just creeping into the top 4 and collecting money rather than trying to compete for titles.
No money. The money went into the stadium. And we were losing players every single year.
The loss in physicality was one of the most notable things to change about Arsenal.
The physicality is not there. Before we had a combination of physicality, character and technical skill. These 3 ingredients right now are not seen together.
The Invincible side combines skill with character and athletic ability, but this new Arsenal side under Wenger only focused on skill.
The most significant signings between 2004 and 9, I can't think of a word to describe that bunch. I could, but it might not be usable on television. But they're certainly not what I would call the type of characters that you would want to win you a league. The powerful characters, the strength that you need running through your team.
This is something that Arteta was able to immediately identify and fix, which I will show in detail later in the video.
We have to be dominant, we have to show passion, and we have to show aggression.
The 2011 Arsenal team wasn't bad, but although their football was aesthetically pleasing on the eyes, they weren't winners. What's worse is they began to lose their star players regularly now. Players knew that if they wanted to win trophies, their best chance was outside of Arsenal. Fabregas, who was at the heart of the Arsenal rebuild, left to go to Barcelona. Samir Nasri joined Manchester City and won a Premier League title.
I knew that I made the right decision.
Van Persie left to join rivals Manchester United after having his best individual season at Arsenal in 2012. Next season, he won the Premier League with United.
I had to wait for so long for my first title.
Even when there were some bright moments, like landing Mesut Ozil from Real Madrid, then winning the 2014 FA Cup, it was followed by disappointments, like their 10-2 aggregate loss to Bayern in the Champions League.
An embarrassment for Arsenal and Arsene Wenger in the Champions League, eliminated for the 7th successive season at the last 16 stage.
A reminder that they were not even close to the big teams in world football. The club was broken and a shadow of the teams we saw in the early 2000s.
It's very sad, very, very, very sad. I'm very sad tonight.
The fans were upset and were now calling for Wenger to be fired. Things only got worse under Unai Emery. During his tenure, Arsenal did not qualify for the Champions League, and their overall performance on the field declined. They were on course to finish top 4, but they bottled it, losing against Wolves, Everton, Crystal Palace, and Leicester in their last 8 games. Arsenal fans had some hope left in their system because the team had still made it to a Europa League final, but that hope was gone after Arsenal ended up losing 4-1 to Chelsea. Another low point for Arsenal fans, being dominated in a cup final by one of their London rivals.
They just fell apart, didn't they? He's speechless. I can understand why. It was poor.
The next season didn't get any better, especially when the Xhaka incident occurred. Xhaka was made the Arsenal captain by Emery, and when he was subbed off against Crystal Palace, he was booed by the Arsenal fans for his poor performances on the pitch. The Arsenal captain cupped his ears while hurling swear words back at his own fans. A symbolic moment that reflected the disaster that was the Emery era at Arsenal.
It's really hard to come back from that.
When I left the club and I was somewhere else and I was looking back, all the comments, the energy, when I went to the stadium and feel that, it really touches my tummy.
But Arteta has changed all of that. He came in and immediately got rid of the players that he felt were holding the club back. He was here to change the entire mentality and emotion around the club.
I want to embrace everybody together, change the vibe, change the energy, bring energy back to them and convince them and make them feel this we love to do this. This is our profession and we could not pick a better place to do it.
Under Emery and Wenger, defending was an issue. Not under Arteta though. The partnership of Saliba and Gabriel is arguably the best center-back partnership in the world. Fast, strong, good on the ball. These are two players who take pride in defending. They are a brick wall. And what's fantastic is they were pretty much two very unknown talents in Ligue 1 just a few years ago. The same way that Wenger used to develop good players into great, Arteta is doing the same thing. Then if you can somehow get past those two titans, you have to get past Raya, an incredible goalkeeper who can make clutch saves and is excellent with his feet. A true ideal modern day goalie. A lot of people question Arteta's desire to sign another goalie after Ramsdale's success.
And now you sign another keeper and it's a catastrophe.
But it's clear that the Spaniard is a huge upgrade. Put all these pieces together and it's not a surprise that Arsenal have one of the best defenses in Europe. It shows just how stable the club has become ever since Arteta took over. Add Declan Rice to the mix and you can see that Arteta is bringing back the physicality and athleticism that made the Gunners so dominant in the early 2000s. Arsenal haven't been able to replace Patrick Vieira for ages. That holding midfielder role has been absent for literally decades. He's about as good as you can get in a midfielder in the modern game. Great on the ball, fantastic athlete who is superb at winning the ball back. And he can even come up with clutch goals. As if that wasn't enough, Arteta added physicality to the attack as well by signing Kai Havertz. The signing was criticized by everyone, with people scratching their heads on why Arsenal were signing a Chelsea reject. But now, Arteta's plan is visible. Havertz provides some much needed strength and power in a position where Arsenal really had none. This new increased physicality has helped Arsenal on the attacking end. They consistently come up with clutch goals from corners. It has allowed them to pick up 3 points from matches that seem lost. There is nothing evil about this. It's simply a team using every advantage they can get.
They needed to gain every bit of advantage they could get. That meant staying down for as long as they did or delaying the restart. Then really, who can blame them?
Arteta continued to increase Arsenal's physicality with the signings of Marino and Calafiori. You can no longer push Arsenal over. They have skillful players like Odegaard and Saka, but they also have the physical players that can bully teams. It's a quality in the Gunners that we haven't seen in years. While the media wants to paint Arsenal as some evil team, fans will know that this is a sign of progress. Speaking of progress, no one has made a bigger push to superstardom than Saka. To see how Saka is following in the footsteps of Thierry Henry, check out this video right here.